That time is 11 o'clock on this late Wednesday night, July 24th, 2019. It is time now for the Peter Channel 11 o'clock news on this late Wednesday night, July 24th, 2019. Good evening, everybody. I'm Peter J. Wiggins. We have a time of 11 o'clock, and it is 65 degrees in North Massachusetts. Top stories on the Peter Channel 11 o'clock news on this late Wednesday night is Robert Miller's testimony fails to galvanize nation and impeach President Trump. Federal judge rules in favor of Trump's new policy banning most asylum seekers. North Korea launches 2 projectiles. Michael Cohen responds to Miller testimony from President. American people deserve more. U.S. Navy sails warship through contested waterway as Beijing warns Taiwan. Puerto Rico legislature Governor Rossello resigns or impeachment begins. My family had taken over a Foundry restaurant in Easton on Route 106 and 123 on Foundry Street. Wyoming Valley West Reserve says it will not accept lunch debt donations in Pennsylvania. Montana removes 27 children from youth treatment match alleged egregious abuse. 9-year-old girl tossed in the air by bison at Yellowstone National Park. Robert Beer said Russia's interference as we sit there. Boris Johnson and the Queen went to the Manchester say what his post wishly said as Boris Johnson overalls cabinet on the first day as Prime Minister. Will China send in troops? China hits that troops could be used to quell Hong Kong protests. Canada murder suspects could also be 1,800 miles from slain described as best friends. Missing teens now, suspects in Middleborough murders in northern British Columbia. Pawtucket man pleads guilty to collect disability while working as painter. Top Rhode Island exec text to Twitter call out anti-immigration incident in witness in Providence. Total man dies 11 days after being struck while crossing Winthrop Street. Tesla CTO and co-founder J.B. Straubel will step down. Ford Department slide 86% of restriction charges. Look at that stock today out. Down 79.22 at 27.2 to 69.97. S&P 500 at 14.09 at 30.19.56 and Nasdaq up 70.10 at 83.21.50. Climate scientists drive stake through the heart of skeptics argument. Hoop astronomers discovered 2 firsts with fast stars locked in a death spiral. FDA approves first treatment for severe hypoglycemia that can be administered without an injection. Delhi new fungal superbug is warning doctors. 28 flights canceled at Amsterdam's Schiphol Airport due to fuel supply issue. Latest round of serious thunderstorms spotted northern plains and upper Midwest, as well as adjacent areas of Canada afternoon to Friday. Mentioned light eyes to trouble in Shanghai for trade negotiations. FTC outlines how to claim compensation for Equifax data breach. Space Center, Florida, that allow better view to launch badware. Hyman Space Flight is set to return. Like a boom special in the state, Alabama air pushes prices higher. Defendant resident in Alabama with captured drugs and guns deemed danger. Massachusetts bill will criminalize encouraging suicide. Where employees at a downtown liquor store after a shoplifting suspect Tuesday afternoon held it down until police arrived. Foxborough Police Chief candidates to face penal as part of his assessment job. State to give Attleboro help with economic development. In Taunton, U.S. Congressman Joe Kennedy III sought by mass hire Taunton concerned here about job recruitment in their various Bay State experienced the lowest unemployment rate in nearly 20 years. Random softball earns a trip of a lifetime to Florida attorney. Dog day care Fuskin some all breeds looks open and random. Denham, Norfolk County grand jury has been indicted for in a violent attack at the Quincy MBTA station after the Bruins playoff game this spring. Union contracts are own money want resolution. Kentucky students at Guatemala, a week-long service tour. And Quincy cyclists injured at rush hour crash. Peter Childers time is 11:04. Time now for Sports Report. Thought Red Sox fall to the Tampa Bay Rays in Tampa 3-2. Red Sox take 2-3, which will move on to the 4-game series at Fenway Park starting Thursday against the Yankees. Top of the 7th, Nationals 1, Colorado 0. St. Louis Cardinals 14, Pittsburgh Pirates 8. San Diego Padres 7, New York Mets 2. Yankees 9, Minnesota 7 at top of 8. Miami 2, Chicago White Sox 0, Angels 1, Dodgers 0, and 3 in LA. Washington 3, Colorado 2, Philadelphia Phillies 4, Detroit Tigers 0, Houston Astros 4, Oakland A's 2, Milwaukee 5, Cincinnati 4, Arizona 5, Baltimore 2, Seattle 5, Texas 3, Chicago Cubs 4, San Francisco 1, Cleveland 4, Carolina 0, and Kansas City 2, Atlanta 0. And it's over Durham 5-4. Bill Belichick says his contract can just go inside his head of a training camp. Kawhi Leonard says he's very close to joining the Lakers for agreeing to sign the Clippers. Race put picture to face place new industry that 75% to hold together the game of baseball. And current focus trade by David Spann for the league. Peter Chalusov is 11:05. Time now for Peter Channel traffic and transit check. Beep! On the MTA Greenland Day branch as a run between Cameron and Newland announced after 8:30 p.m. on July 24th and after 10:30 p.m. on July 25th, 26th, and takes the shuttle bus to and from Kenmore and New announced for connect and service. Commuter rail. Sorting train 9:27, 10:04 p.m. outbound to bottom station operating for 10 minutes p.m. to the labor out of equipment and the ferries out looking good. All right, look at the hours and byways in New England on this late Wednesday night in Rhode Island. 195 eastbound side, Little Swan connect Rhode Island, Massachusetts border. 295 southbound south 195 apartment side of Cranston. 3 on the southbound not 3 on the northbound side of the Marshfield Stretch. 44 eastbound side, Little Swan Route 3 in Plymouth. Service expressway, both ends between gas tanks in Boston and Mass Pike downtown Boston, Mass Pike eastbound south over the lower North Island to South Boston. Route 2 eastbound south over to 128 out in Lexington and 95 93 northbound south on 495 and northbound south Wilson 29 over and hit brakes on both ends of 495 on the Havel stretch and 495 on the southbound south Amesbury stretch. Route 2 westbound south around Fort Devens and 290 westbound south to Shrewsbury, Mass Pike eastbound south also Brimfield stretch and Mass Pike both ends of Westfield stretch and Mass Pike eastbound Lowell's. 291 southbound side Wilson Pike in Springfield and 91 northbound side Little Swan Woodhall, Connecticut. Route 9 both ends by Chester, Connecticut. 91 northbound side also Clarksburg, Connecticut. 84 both ends by Denver and Newtown, Connecticut. Bear Parkway eastbound so between Severn to Fairfield and Bear Parkway eastbound so between Greenwich down to South Fairfield and Hillcrest getting between Milford and West Haven and up in northern New England. Looking good in New Hampshire and Maine. Next up to the 295 at the northbound side Little Swan, Maine, Turbine, and Brunswick and 87 at southbound side, also 11 in Champlain, New York, and onwards 1555 at the northbound side, Little Swan, U.S. Canadian, Epstein, Vermont. Peter Charles, 11:07, time now for weather report. Part for tonight, low 55 degrees, calm wind for Thursday, punch about between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. Otherwise, most of the sun's about 82 degrees, north about 3 to 5 miles an hour for Thursday night. Most of the coast about 57 degrees, light south wind for Friday. Sunday, it's got about 85 degrees and light wind. Friday night, most of the coast about 61 degrees, south about 5 miles coming in the evening for Saturday, select charts and done some between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. Most of the sun's got about 84 degrees coming to the southbound 5 to 7 miles an hour afternoon, just about 20%. Saturday night, most of about 64 degrees, southward about 3 to 5 miles an hour for Sunday. Sunday, podcast about 85 about 68 degrees, southwest about 2 to 7 miles an hour for Monday. Most Sunday podcast about 88 about 70 degrees, southwest about 5 to 8 miles an hour for Tuesday. Most Sunday podcast about 88 about 70 degrees, southwest about 5 to 9 miles an hour for Wednesday. Check charts, put sun's about 85 degrees, southwest about 7 miles an hour, just 40% right now in Northern 62 degrees. That's the for the Peter Channel. 11 o'clock news on this late Wednesday, July 24th, 2019. Viewers, hope you have a good night with a good day to the I'll see you tomorrow morning when I'm more important. Hope you have a good night.